Could you tell me a little bit about how you first got involved with border crossings?
Yeah, it was. I was a part of theater piece, music theater, and it was about how it is to be a Sami in Gamvik, where we come from. Me and the actor. He is a sibling of me, and he started initiated the theater and take me in as a musician, and also talking a little bit about my approach on the Sami yoik. And we have also had another musician with us in the piece, and we played at a festival up north in Norway. And I don't remember if it was Michael Walling who was at this festival, or it was someone else that have a connection to the boarding crossing festival. At least he got to know about it and take contact, and we translated the piece to English, and we came in 2015. Probably it was in 2014 we did the piece up north, and we came in 2015, I guess in May or early June, and at the festival, and had like 3 or 4 performances there. So that was the first time I was in touch with border crossing. And it was very good for me because there was also a producer from Unicorn Theatre in London who probably see the piece or heard about the piece. So then Michael Walling introduced us, and she asked if I was interested to take part of a piece for children that should be produced at the Unicorn Theatre. It was a ensemble called Phil Sheets who was co-producing with Unicorn Theatre. And yeah, I did. So I was on and off there 5 weeks during the summer 2015, and we produced it, recorded, and they took the recordings with them on tour, and also on the performance in Unicorn Theatre.
Mm-hmm. So the first piece was the one that you did, that you translated into English.
Yeah.
Wondering what it was like to translate it, or did it feel kind of different when it was in translation?
Yeah, of course. I didn't have so much to say in the piece, so for me it was quite easy. But for the actor who was like holding the whole piece, the whole 45 minutes, but yeah, he have done it before in other with other theater things, so he got someone to help him when translating. I don't know how it become. We got some money to translate it, and it worked well, I think.
And so the piece was that was the one that you first performed in Norway, and did it feel quite different performing it in a kind of different context to a different audience?
It was for young adults or old children. This piece really made, because it was talking about this the situation to be a Sami from the coast area, and it was the same story, but of course different audience all the time. We did several festivals, and we also did like school performance with it. Like we was working one place, and school come in and watch the piece. So and it was mainly like children, youngsters that was like 14, 15, 16 years old, but also other festivals for adults.
Did you get any sense of the way that the young people were kind of reacting to seeing the performance?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they find it interesting and also shocking, because we come up with some new information that even the teachers was like surprising. Oh, never heard about this. And so because it was mainly in the south of Norway when we did it, and so I think we bring it out some new perspective on the what it is to be a Sami.
And what was kind of shocking, or what did the audiences tend to find shocking?
No, it was the behaving that how the Norwegization have been done. Like they use the church, they use the school, they use the military system, they use everything to make the Sami culture a passé culture. And this was not very much known. I think this is like 10, 12 years ago, but a lot have changed since then. So, and now I think the young people they know more about it because it's have changed things. But at that time they find it quite some of it quite shocking and new information.
And were you surprised by that, or was that what you expected going into the performances?
No, we hope that because we want to be a little bit edgy, and that's the approach we had when we make the piece. It was not like a normal thing. We wanted to be edgy, and so it was good for us to experience that this happened. Yeah.
And were there any performances that were kind of memorable to you, particularly?
That I remember.
Yeah, for any reason that kind of stand out to you?
No, I think in general it was a good piece. So we managed to have a good flow in it, and the youngsters liked the music and things like this. But it was, I think, maybe this kind of when some of the teacher comes and talk to us after, or the children have questions. We open up for questions after the piece somewhere, some of the places, and I think that was the most remember what do you call it?
Memorable.
Remember well. Yeah.
It was you kind of have a question Q&A after the performances. And
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
sometimes. And do you remember any questions that you were asked?
I should. It was like, where do you learn to play this instrument, and why do you play this instrument, and why do you do like this and that? Because I also use like some effect of throat singing from Siberia, and that was also new for someone. And I use a guitar that are tuned differently, and not so many strings on and things like this. So youngsters who know a guitar and see a guitar with 3 strings, why? And then you have to explain why, blah blah blah, things like this. Yeah.
And so kind of doing the throat singing and using the guitar with 3 strings, is that something that's developed like throughout your life, or was that something you did at the beginning of your career?
Yeah, it was because I was quite early interested in music and culture from Siberia. So it was like I lean a little bit on this, like how the guitar was tuned like an instrument from South Siberia called doshpolur. It's 3 strings lut, and so I use some kind of the same tuning, and also was inspired by this. And throat singing I have been interested in it since the 80s, 1980s.
What do you find interesting about throat singing?
First of all, it was like when I heard it first time, it was totally new sound, and then I do a little bit more research, and I find out that it's the culture is quite similar. I mean, like the worldview is quite similar, and yeah, I find it like very useful together with the Sami yoik somehow. Yeah.
Can you remember? Could you tell me a bit about the first time you heard it?
Throat singing. Yeah, it was in the end of 1980s. It was maybe 88 or 89. I visiting a Sami writer, and he played a cassette to me. I have heard overtone singing before. There was some overtone or choir in Germany, I think it was, and so I heard this before, but it was not throat singing. It was like doing the overtone with only the mouth as a K, but throat singing, then you use your chest and you use the throat in a different way. So no, I find it very interesting, and more I learn about it, I find it very useful for as an effect together, because it's a big tradition, you know.
Yeah, and you used that. Was that used quite a lot in the performance that you did in London?
I used it. It was I use it as much as I use it in a normal concert, not more. Maybe 3 times during the performance. So it was, yeah. It was used, yeah.
And how do you kind of decide when to use it? What kind of effect does it give?
Yeah, it make the whole vocal approach. I like to call my kind of yoik noir, like a little bit darker approach than a lot of other contemporary Sami yoik artists. So it even gave me more power, more dark approach, and I like it.
And after you did the project in London, what was the kind of the next involvement you had with border crossings?
Yeah, it was in 2018. I'm not sure if it was border crossing or if it was Michael Walling who was the producer for it. But it was the opening of a new exhibition at the National Maritime Museum. And they opened an exhibition with the indigenous perspective, especially circumpolar perspective from different culture in the circumpolar area, Arctic especially. And he asked me to come and do some performance during the opening there. It was in 2018, I think.
And how did it feel to kind of bring the Sami sound into this museum context?
Yeah, I mean, he asked for me. He knows what I did, so he asked for what I'm doing and to bring it there. But of course, I make my own thing there. So I make a sort of ritual approach with some stones, some bones, and some metal thing, and it was quite a big room, and not like a big PA. It was like some small speakers and a microphone. So I have to make attention. I have to be a little bit rocky and hard, I think. But I like it, and I think they also was happy with it. Yeah.
And was there what kind of inspired the piece that you made there?
Yeah, it was because I have done several of this kind of not show but performance during years, and so it was a sum up of different things that I have done before, and since it was an opening, I find it like, and for indigenous people, mainly culture from indigenous people is quite. It comes a lot from ritual activity, and so I find it useful to continue my work there with this, and yeah, and new place, new audience, a new room, make something with you. So it's also a matter of taking the room and try to make something that makes sense for yourself, and surprise yourself, and also still have a high level of quality in it.
And could you talk a bit about the room that you performed in and kind of how that impacted the work?
Yeah, it was. I think it was the whole museum. You have an open space there, so it was like quite a lot of sounds around. But where the performance should be was like they have a floor with the map of the world on this floor, and people was walking around there, and I was standing a little bit in the on the shore of this map, and so it should make some sense for me. I have to try to be powerful and loud. And have you heard anything about the performance?
I've not heard anything about that performance.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Was it very loud?
No, it was not that very loud, because there was not many. It was loud in general in the room, but I think it was okay because it was not a PA. It was small speakers and one microphone, and that's it.
Uh-huh.
So that was a little bit surprising, but it's okay. It worked. I remember it as a good experience. And after it was also some dance, and it was nice. Some dance from. Actually, at the moment, I don't remember where the dancer was from, but they were like from some indigenous diaspora living in London and doing this dance. It was cool.
And do you have any other memories from the opening, or did you kind of meet anyone else?
Yeah, I liked the exhibition, and I find some new things in the exhibition that never seen before, and we took some picture, and actually one of the picture I have used like a promo for myself later. So it was a sun Inuit sun made for protecting for sun, made of wood, very big one. So, and this was really, I have seen it on picture but not in live, so I took some picture with this on, and I use it later too. That's maybe the most remember from the from this. And it was a nice day where we have a nice hotel and good food, and yeah.
What was it about the sunglasses that kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, I like the design, and I know what it was because I'm also from the Arctic, and then I find it some kind of cool and interesting. It was like handmade pieces, and I like it. Are you an anthropolog?
Am I what?
Anthropolog?
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
So you did, so after the doing the National Maritime Museum, the gallery opening, what was the kind of next project that you did with?
Yeah, the next year, the year after, it was I was invited with my band to the to the festival, and we at Rich Mix. Also, the theater was at the Rich Mix, the first one. So, this was in 2019, the festival there. We came there and we did the opening evening, only one or two pieces, I don't remember, and then we have a concert the next day or the day after, and then some days after the festival, I took part in artist talk with Michael and some other circumpolar people.
What do you kind of remember from that talk?
No, I remember it was a little bit like knuffing about in between us who shall say keep the word and talk most. So it was a little bit surprising. There was another Sami, and he was like from a Christian organization, Sami organization. So I find it a little bit. I was surprised when we met there, and then it was Inuit lady from Canada or Alaska. I don't remember now. But yeah, it was like talks. It's we got some question. Are your action political, things like this, and you try to say something interesting about it, and yeah. And I remember very well because the Inuit lady, she have a very hard experience, and her story was very hard, so I make a lot of space for her also.
Mm-hmm. And what was it like kind of talking about that like kind of outside of Norway or kind of in a different context?
Yeah, the main thing was how is it in Arctic today. I think that was the heading. And then it's open up for different perspective, and yeah, I remember the lady, the Inuit lady. She have a very hard story. I cannot exact remember what it was, but it was a hard personal story. And I find it good for her to express this. We talk a little bit after, but not that much. It was many things going on there at the same time. So.
And what was your kind of whole experience of the festival?
Yeah, I find it good, and there was they split us up. So I lived in one place, and the rest of the band lived in another place. And where I lived, it was some kind of residency for artists. So it was, I think it was very nice place with a nice room, and it was a nice garden outside, and I come in touch with some of the other artists, especially from Canada. Was two artists, and we was hanging a little bit, and yeah, and I continue to discover more of London. Find a very nice Korean restaurant that only have one dish. I think I eat 5 times there.
Wow.
But it was good. It was just behind the British Museum. This, yeah,
Oh.
yeah, and the residence was also near the British Museum.
Did you speak about kind of, you were speaking about your music, but also about your experiences and understanding of the Arctic?
In the talk, yeah, it was mainly try to talk about Sami culture from my perspective, from the coast Sami's perspective, but also in general how it is with the education for language and how is it with the and also about things that still are to solve. It's still things that are not even if Norway are very far uh, behave very nicely with the indigenous group. There is also some issues still to solve, and always this about the right to the land and an area. It's always an issue. So I talked about these things many years ago, so I don't remember. I don't write it down. So yeah.
Do you feel like things have changed since then, or in the years since you had this early involvement and did these talks?
You mean changed for me or the perspective or?
Changed for you or changed in Norway?
Yeah, somehow it have been some, and it's also a new generation with the people, and they are really hardcore and yeah, and they do a lot of like demonstrations and things. That's happened, I will say, after Corona, actually, mostly. Yeah. So yeah, it's changed though. It's always something going on. So yeah.
And what about for you and kind of how has your work, do you feel like your work's changed quite a lot since then?
I try to do concert and festival. That's my main activity. But I also have some other things. But I can compose to different things or work together, collaborate with other artists or with other ensembles and things like this. But still, I do the same. I do the same. I have been part of 14, 15 stage performance, and I do the same, but always different because the yeah the approach of these different things are take you in a new direction with your own art and stretch it and make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
I wonder if, because you've obviously done so many different kinds of things in your career and different performances, is there something about the performances that you've done with border crossings that are kind of unique or feel different in any way?
Yeah, different in the way that I mean England it's on top of being a colonizers and in the world. The tradition, I mean. So it's interesting to learn more about and to see the approach that still are there but I do the same thing, but yeah, it's also different to do it with border crossing. I don't know if I answer your question, but yeah, it's different, but also very much the same because I tour more out of Norway than in Norway. So in general,
Hmm. And so it's kind of similar to any works that you kind of do outside of Norway, are
Yeah,
different.
I will say so, except from that it's bigger arrangement, it's bigger institutions, and I guess also more money in what's happened around the border crossing, or what Michael is involved in.
And does it kind of, as a performer, does it feel different to perform like outside of Norway?
Yeah, it feel different. It's very good to do things outside Norway. It always give you some different perspective of what you are doing, to come out of your country and do it in other places, because you got different feedback, and you got, it's always very, very good to travel out of your own country and perform.
Mm.
It's always very meaningful.
So I know you were involved with the Magnetic North performance of border crossings, and I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about that.
The Arctic exhibitions at the British Museum, is this one the one
Yeah,
you think about? That was during the Corona.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was also original planned that we should come and play in the British Museum, and we should have some kind of the soundtrack of this exhibition there. But yeah, as you know, Corona came, and it was it didn't take place. So we did a recording here with the music, and also filmed it in Norway, and the same was done in Sweden and other places also, and put together by I don't know. I guess Michael Walling was involved in the to put it together. So it was like actually a show that was or something that was only in the internet, and yeah, and it was, some of it was very surprising, but
It was surprising.
yeah, they took my music and put some other dancers on my music, and it worked, but it was like not it was not what we have talked about before, but it was okay. Yeah.
They put other dancers.
Yeah, they put some Inuit dancers there, and then they on the dancers they put my music on the dancers. Yeah. But it worked, and so they like make an art piece out of the material they got from different places. It was a lot of what do you call it? A lot of yeah, to get involving different people, like sound recording, like filming, like and then send it over, and things like this before. But yeah, all in all, it was good, and yeah, they make a piece out of it, like some art piece out of it, with all the involved artists together. They make a, yeah. Have you seen it, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I saw it, and it was really amazing. I really enjoyed watching it. And do you think could you tell me a bit about like what you understand the film to be about? Or kind of what were you working with when you were doing the
Yeah,
music?
I was only working to make a soundtrack that could work out to an exhibition, because that was what they asked about, and then I made yeah, we made new music, like and filmed it also. So No, it was to present. Hopefully, it was not to make the British Museum lifted the British Museum, but it was to show that the indigenous artists of today. Do you have another? What is your impression of the?
I think I was interested in kind of what information you had before, and then the kind of process, maybe the process you went through in making the music, because it seemed to fit together really well.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm. No, I took like a little bit the same approach as making a record somehow, because when it come to this that we should film and not come there to play, so the original idea was that we should come and play music that we already had made, but since it was also talking about to make like soundscapes, so I bring in a lot of different instruments and we recorded it like on the fly there, and when we filmed it, and again it was also this ritual approach on it, and because this is what's in my spine, it's what I'm doing actually. So to and yeah. So we was two musicians and did the music there. Yeah.
And what was the kind of, you say, ritual approach? How did that work with this piece?
Yeah, it's like I mean, the ritual. What is the ritual is to come into some different rooms, find different rooms in your mind and stay there and let it flow and have this perspective that you want to lift the culture, show the culture, and but also try to stretch it in a contemporary direction. So that was the idea with using different instruments and yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were using different instruments. Were you using any instruments that, like, new instruments that you don't usually use, or what instruments were you using?
Yeah, I use accordion. I use and I cannot play accordion. I can make sound on accordion. So it was my approach on accordion. I used different flutes and not that much vocal on this thing, but some. So it was mainly this, and combine it with octavo violin. Like octavo it's something in between the braccio and cello.
So it was a continuous soundtrack for the film that you made. I'm right in thinking it runs the whole way through.
Yeah, it was. We play. I don't remember how much it was, but and then we handed over to Michael, and he put it together. I don't know who did it, but he put pictures on the music, So this was out of our control at all. We just left the film and the sound, and then it was like a new art piece, and I find it good. That was made on basis of what we have done.
Mm-hmm. And did you use all these instruments? Were you also using throat singing in this piece?
Yeah, throat singing, and most of all, I use the Sami yoik. That's my main approach or instrument. It's the Sami yoik. It's a tradition, the Sami vocal tradition.
Could you kind of explain a bit more about that?
Yeah, the Sami yoik is actually, it's traditionally, it's only an a cappella and a solo tradition. So it's we like to say it's 30,000 years old because it's also connected to other indigenous groups in Siberia and also on the other side of Bering and things like this. So, but it's specific tradition, vocal tradition that have been used for thousands of years. Maybe the longest, the oldest tradition that have been used in, and not in a broken tradition. It have been continue going on somehow, some place, and the yoik is the most distinct difference is like if you sing a song about something, you sing about like a lady or a mountain or a place you sing about. But when you do the yoik, you try to become. You are the soul of the lady. You are the mountain. You are the animal. You are not yoiking about. You are. That's the main difference. And also it have been like how it been used is it's only like this the last 50 100 years that it have been used as a music on stage. Before it was like ritual or used for remember people. It's a lot of different pieces about people, and it's to remember people, remember places, and like a sort of photo album that was pre-photo time, you know. and yeah, and also it have been like imitating sounds in the nature, and also have done the music together with the nature. So the nature have been the instrument to the vocal, to the yoik also.
And how did you use that specifically in the piece for the Magnetic North?
Yeah, we did some fixed pieces that was already a part of or part of my set list, but also some improvising. It's a lot of possibility to improvise, and honestly, I have not heard it since 2020, so I I vaguely remember it. So to answer your question of what I did, I'm not sure. I don't want to lie to you. So, but I'm sure I did some improvisations, and that's a part of the tradition to improvise. What we are into now, we improvise it, and for sure, I know what it should be used for, and it was also. I have had a small talk with two journalists and Michael before, and talked about it. So it was also this. I was a little bit like, yeah, okay. If you come into the British Museum, maybe I can take some old Sami stuff with me home, like this. So that was also a little bit approach, and it's also been going on for some years that. Try to get home things from exhibition around in Europe that have been there since 1800 and things like this. So that's an issue in general, but it's not me who shall do it. But I also have this in my head when I did the music.
It's interesting. So you had the kind of the context of it being performed like or connected to the British Museum.
Yeah.
That was kind of part of the process.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the heading of the whole thing. It was the British Museum should go on in the British Museum, and it was a collaboration with British Museum.
Right, but you kind of had these conversations about the stuff that had been taken from.
Not really. I know there is something, but I mentioned it in the talk before. But it's an issue still going on. I mean, the decolonizing and people talking about getting things back in different. It's not only the Sami. It's an issue in many places of the world.
And did that have any effect on your like involvement with the British Museum or decision to be involved in the project?
It was, of course, a question I asked myself, but also I find it interesting. And I mean, after the exhibition with the National Maritime Museum, yeah, it was interesting. It could be. It's a little bit deeper in, and I find it interesting. And of course, I want to play with my band. For that was the really the first idea that we should play live on this event.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. During the years, I'm a bit more yes human than no human. I try to say yes.
Well, in kind of more recent years.
Hmm?
Is that did you say that was more in more recent years you've been trying to do that?
Yeah, it was already at that time, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm wondering how it felt to have your work reach like quite a big audience in this via the kind of British Museum film.
I'm not sure. I have not checked it out.
Do you remember first watching when you first kind of watched it when it was all put together?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, it was a little bit surprising, as I told you, but also I come to the conclusion. Yeah, of course, it's like this. I left everything to someone else, and they make a piece out of it, and it's a good work.
Mm-hmm.
There is maybe some places with some like distortion sound on the music, but it's not much. If we're talking about technical thing, but no, I think I come to this, and I also met the Swedish couple that was involved in this, and later, and we talked about this because she's a dancer and she's from Greenland. And she danced on some of my pieces. They put, but she danced for free, and I think she didn't have my piece when she danced. It just fit good together, so they use it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. It was a piece that I made for my wife some years before, and they use it on her. But that's okay. Of course, the piece is out there, and it's like this.
And what was that piece like?
It's called Sun in December.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the Arctic, it's not sun in December. So it's like she is my sun in December.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's maybe the most poppy piece I guess I have made, like concrete poppy. So yeah, it's okay. You can listen. You will find it. Sun in December. Here in Oslo, it's sun in December, and today it's actually the in 2 hours the sun will turn and start. This is the darkest day of the year. It will
Yeah.
happen like 16:03 this today. It start to be lighter.
Yeah, because we're doing it. Today's the winter solstice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this. Yeah. You will celebrate it.
Yeah.
Okay. A party or?
Just kind of, I think just marking it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. That's the real Christmas. Is this today? Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you had that was part of one of the songs that went into the kind of soundtrack for the piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played some. We recorded them also. We recorded some of the pieces, and then we recorded this improv thing that was more like weird with the flutes and accordion, and so and then they use it wherever they find it useful. So that was surprising in the beginning, but then I found out, yeah, but of course it's artists. They also want to do things.
Kind of like a happy surprise.
Yeah.
And I wonder just as well what it was like working during the pandemic and kind of adapting to working online on this project.
Yeah, it was the what can we do with it? It was I have done like one concert before, and I also did a storytelling piece on a festival, also online, and also I have done in the early in 2020 I was a part of a theater piece in Sweden. So I stayed there for 7 weeks, and we produced it because it was so difficult to travel in between. And the only place we can perform it was online. So it was performed 3 times online. That's it. The piece. But it was So that was before. So I have some experience with it, and when it comes to this, okay, that's how we have to do it.
So did it feel kind of difficult, or did it affect the way you kind of made the music or anything?
What is difficult is that to perform a place with both these pieces was mainly acoustic pieces, but you have to use microphone, and then it's a question of how shall it sound? Is this I make the music for a whole piece, and then someone else do the sound, and they don't have the same aesthetic to how it shall sound. That was the biggest issue for me, because I always work live. I have my own sound engineer that knows the pieces and things like this. But when you do this kind of things, like there is someone else coming in and doing the sound, who are part of a company who do online things, and they have different aesthetics. That was for me the most difficult part of it. And also it's no people. That's the worst part.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Yeah.
And the audiences as well.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about kind of overall whether, or like, if you could talk a little bit about what you kind of think the impact has been of your involvement with border crossings, of this project and the other projects, and how it's impacted you, like as a musician.
Yeah, I will say the first thing with the theater piece was the most had the biggest impact because it also lead me over to another piece. So it's had really have yeah, for my musical career it was, but in general to work with the professional arrangers and also meet other artists, and especially artists from other indigenous culture, gave a lot of sense. It have not come to any concrete collaboration, but for example, the one I met when we had the concert in 2019. When I later she was from Canada, and later when I played in Montreal in 2023, I think she came to the concert, and it was a nice meeting, and we talked about how it is with her work and my work and things like this. So yeah, small steps.
Small steps.
Yeah.
And what about the kind of impact that maybe the working with them has had on like your music or other people making similar music? Do you feel like it's had a kind of... You said that there's been quite a lot of change in the last 10 years, or maybe more knowledge and understanding about like Sami people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially on the Sami art, in the art field, like film and also art, like not only the music but also making art, have been like have a lot of attention the last especially the last 5 years. It's happened a lot and been a part of big exhibitions around in Europe, US, and other places. And and in Norway they cannot deny this, so they need to I mean, it taking so much attention outside Norway. So of course in Norway also they have to make attention on this. It have not worked anything for me, but for many others, I think it been a really boost and lift of Sami culture in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fantastic. And also different issues that the queer scene, and also in the Sami culture, this have been lifting up to important issue, and also in the art this have impact. I mean in music, and especially in music, I would say.
Mm.
So it's going on. It's and also it's a lot about that new generation come up, and they are more edgy, and they are pushing more, and they have more know more what they want and what they will make out of their lives. So that's beautiful. Mm.